Hey guys, welcome to the Down Under FPL podcast. My name is Brandon and this is Russell, and we're going to take you through the Game Week 4 preview.
Yes, Game Week 4, he's here. We made a bold prediction last week if you tuned in. We're going to stick with it, and then you may see us in some Southampton kits, you may not. So we'll stay tuned for that one, definitely.
We'll get into the first game. We're going to go through the best picks of each game week. Just be nice and quick and easy, and then we'll go through some of our other picks that we like, and just some updated news and injury news as well. Southampton versus Manchester United. This is the game we're predicting that Southampton might get their first victory. So, yeah. Russ, who do you think is going to be the best pick for this game?
Can we just not pick anyone? No, I think, look, Man U, against Southampton, they're going to score goals. I honestly reckon it'll be something like 4-0. I can see it. Hoyland's still out, but Xerxes, I think, will probably get a double.
You reckon?
Or Bruno
Fernandes. Bruno. So Bruno Fernandes. I think Bruno's a good pick at 8.4 mil. Everyone sold him, and I was just like, it's the same as Eze, right? You sell him, and he goes out and scores. So his XG and his assists, he's involved. He just hasn't converted those
captain too.
Those game weeks.
Is he a good captain?
Plays 90 minutes every week.
Yeah.
I think Garnacho might start as well. Well, Diallo's been going really well, so I guess...
Yeah, for the life of me, you should be picking Diallo for that much. There's
5
no way Garnacho should be anywhere near that starting lineup.
No,
his form.
No. So there's obviously something there going on, but we'll see after this international break. I think this is a gamble week if you want to take on Garnacho or Diallo or even potentially Bruno. I think they're good weeks, and if you're looking for a Southampton asset that might go well, this is your chance to maybe get on Brereton Diaz.
Yeah, maybe the curse of Brereton Diaz will come in. They'll haunt. We'll wait and see. Look, with Garnacho, he didn't even start for Argentina this morning. Having a look at it now,
it's a pretty hard team to start for.
Yeah, but you look at obviously the Copa America. Garnacho was always there.
That's true.
Always there.
Well, just coming back off of that period of time, I think Garnacho has to start at some point. He's too good not to start. So, and Diallo's on the young.
Yeah.
We'll see after this. I still think if you got Garnacho, hold him. But if you're going for someone like a Diallo, then just ride it out.
Because even Diallo, even if he does get 20 minutes, I reckon he'll have a goal involvement or something.
And if you've got Rashford, then, I feel so sorry for you. Because at the end of the day, it really should be Diallo and Garnacho probably starting and Rashford on the bench at the moment.
Yep.
Based on performance.
Yeah. Yeah, but Rashford's similar to, I guess, that...
Sterling.
Yeah, that's Sterling. He just doesn't escape a squad, hey. He's just always there.
Always makes it. So our prediction was if Southampton win this game, then we're going to wear Southampton jerseys for the rest of the FPL podcast season. So... I hope it doesn't come true, but at the same time I do, because I think Manchester United will become Banter FC if they lose this game.
Yeah. And look, for those who don't know what Banter FC is, it's just a meme club. Just plain and simple.
Joke of a club.
Yeah.
Okay, next game, Brighton versus Ipswich. Have you got any good picks for this game?
Look, I reckon Miedema, I think he's going to continue his form.
6.6 mil.
Yeah, he's nice and cheap. In terms of, I guess, people who've brought him in, I think it's been quite a bit the other week. Let me just have a quick little look. Yeah,
he's got people in, and then you've also got Minte. He's been cooking a little bit too. I think both Brighton right and left midfielders have been cooking, and
even Pedro.
João Pedro, great pick this week.
João Pedro, 78,000 people have brought him in.
5.7 million. He's gone up the same as Welbeck. Welbeck's at 5.7. So I think they've got good assets. Solly March is meant to return potentially this week. So how that affects Minte, I don't know.
Yeah.
You've even got Adingara sitting on the bench, just cooking off 45 minutes most weeks and getting involved.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
There's a bit of rotation, but I think Miedema is back to some of his best form.
Yeah, I think he's just looking exciting. He's enjoying his football. He's just lighting people up. He runs at him, cuts inside. Sort of like how Mane used to, when you'd watch him.
Yep.
Absolutely nuts.
I'll be Liverpool for you know it. And then you've got Ipswich. You got Leif Davis. I think he got his first assist as well.
Of many, hopefully.
Yep. So he's an option. You've also got Sammy Samotics. That's there at 6 mil. I think he's their goal scorer. Liam Delap scored a cracker goal in his first one well. So there's options there, but
if you do have Hutchinson as well,
he's a bit of a
he's copped a bit of a knock, so it's a wait and see for him. So if you want to risk him for some potential cheap points, but they might not risk him. It's a big season, so
Don't know how many own him, but he's a good, talented young footballer.
Yeah.
Okay, so going into the Crystal Palace and Leicester game, those that sold Eze, I feel so sorry for you, but you shot yourself in the foot because he, even against Chelsea, he delivered. I didn't think it was going to happen, but he did. Got 10 points, and he'll probably deliver again this week against Leicester, and, the dominoes fall in twos. So I think this is the week where Eze might go with a good point haul against Leicester.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It'll be very interesting.
Well, Leicester are a team who are they're just a bunch of battlers.
They are.
They don't get there. They don't just sit back and relax. They'll take it to you. And teams like that can actually be dangerous against a Palace who might be a little bit complacent.
A little bit.
Like defensively, they'll be a little bit complacent, I think.
Could see Mateta score something this week. He needs to get off the mark. And then you got Nketiah that has come across to Palace. So I think they're going to play the good old Eze, Nketiah, and Mateta potentially up front, similar to what the Elise was.
Yeah, very well could be.
Which could be a good lineup. But in terms of even from a Leicester standpoint, Vardy is still cooking a little bit as well. Mate. He's doing all right at 37. You've got, who else was the one? Fatawu is on that right side.
God, he's going good.
He's going good. He's been starting really well. So he's at 5.5 million. There are options no matter what. I think in FPL this season we've realised that Salah and Haaland are the dominant number ones.
Yeah.
And if you've got both, like the guy here, then you're doing really well. But if you've only got one and you've got all the others, then you're kind of just hoping that they can catch up and give you a bit of form.
I'm honestly looking at, I reckon Saka will end up captain against, who was it this week?
Tottenham?
Tottenham.
Yeah, as in, because Odegaard's out?
Saka will get given the captaincy.
Probably.
Because, who else is going to step up there apart from maybe
Saliba or Gabriel. Yeah, they'll have one of the defenders. Okay, so we're looking at Fulham versus West Ham. Some picks here. Poor old Muniz hasn't got off the mark yet for owners, even though he went up in price a couple of weeks ago. And
I saw West Ham, though. West Ham haven't really done a lot. For their squad on paper, right, looks fantastic. Games aren't won on paper.
No, it's just one on the pitch.
Yeah, and I guess even you look at their team as who performs, right? You've got Bowen, obviously, and then you've got Souček as well. But apart from that, there's not a whole lot in that team that's really shining.
No.
When they should be. Yeah. They 100% should be.
They should be. And after this international break, they need to hit some form. They need to get some wins. And this could be the week that against Fulham they do it. Emil Smith-Rowe is still there, but I'm still a bit wary there. He's at 5.6 mil. I think there are other options there. He's playing 10, but he's still building his minutes. Yeah. So, but he's a good option if you want to pick him up.
And look, I mean, Kudus has actually gone down in price too.
6.4 mil?
Yeah, 6.4.
So there's options everywhere with salary cap and with money. Like Minterman went up, Kudus has gone down.
Yep.
I think Ward-Prowse went to Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
Ward-Prowse at Nottingham Forest now. So Ward-Prowse might be a great option at Forest because he'll start every week.
How's is Edson Alvarez back? Yeah. Okay.
I think he's back too. So they're not too bad, but I think with West Ham it's just them hitting consistent form.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't touch any defensive assets yet, even Wan-Bissaka. He's played well for 29 minutes when he came back with them last game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just need to see some form before you get on board.
That's funny. The West Ham last year with Alvarez, they looked good. They looked solid in the midfield. I mean, now that Alvarez, since his injury, he just hasn't really been all there, I think. And it's hard coming back from injury, right? No. You're trying to find your form. You're trying to make sure that your touch is all good. But again, it's just the whole entire team seems to be like that, apart from Bowen and Souček.
Yeah, it's a difficult one there. And obviously from Fulham, you've got Antoine Robinson that we all own. I don't know if Fulham are going to keep too many clean sheets in the next few game weeks.
Yeah.
So there is a case if you were to sell him, I completely understand because, you can probably pick up someone that maybe can give you some assists. But then again, he's been providing 2 assists in the first 3 game weeks.
Yeah,
so I'll be keeping him for now. Okay, going into the Liverpool and Nottingham Forest game, I think Liverpool started hot. They're 3 clean sheets in a row. They're coming against Forest, which has been good defensively, but they have conceded a goal in most of their games.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they've been solid.
Yeah. Yeah, they have. I mean, in attack, you've got obviously the
New Zealand god.
the New Zealand god in Chris Wood. So, and he's very solid on the ball. He's like an aerial threat. So I think Van Dijk and Kanate will have to play, even though I'm pretty sure they've played both games for the Nations League in this little break.
They'll have to be on their game against the New Zealand god.
Yeah,
because he'll always be coming. So
because I think if you start Kwanzaa, if he starts Kwanzaa, Wood will just go bang there. You're my man. I'm towering over you. So.
He won't make that same mistake again, I don't think.
Yeah.
But this is good for Liverpool. They've been doing really well. I'll be interested to see what happens with Trent with the international break rotation.
Yeah.
As we all own him.
Yeah.
Because he played both games, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And he got an assist in that game too. And I think he came off right towards the end.
Well, that's what I'm concerned a little bit about is now that Liverpool have got the cover with Bradley and a bit of depth, what happens with the rotation now? Because Slot has not hesitated to take him off at 75, 80 minutes.
Yeah.
And now he's just played 2 games. What's that going to do? Is he going to potentially, start? Is he not going to start against Forest? So we'll see, but I hope he does start because he is their set piece taker and he's got to deliver a return soon. He's ready. He's delivered clean sheets, but he's got to deliver those attacking returns soon.
Absolutely.
Salah, if you've owned him, congratulations as well as with Haaland. He's been delivering as old Salah would. And I think he is definitely a must-have if you have the chance. For me, with my squad, I think I'm just going to wait a couple of weeks just purely because I've just wildcarded a week before and just wait and see. And I've got Saka, Watkins, Haaland, and Palmer, so I'm giving them a good chance. And then definitely got to get Salah into my side. Jota, many people have sold Jota this week, and I just don't quite understand that.
I don't know.
He'll probably score.
Probably.
Like he didn't score last game.
Get an assist. Yep, he did. He scored. But it's just one of those ones where I think more people have bought in Diaz.
For sure.
So it went. Who was it that I mentioned before? João Pedro.
Yep.
76, and then I think it was Luis Diaz. Was the next one behind.
Which, to be fair. 71. I think everyone's jumping on Diaz because of the 2 really good game weeks that he's had.
Yeah.
But Jota can have big game weeks too. I've seen last year he was able to go 15-point game weeks, 14-point game weeks. So I think it's a bit of a rotation.
Yeah.
Who gets it?
Yeah.
And they're just chasing last week's points. Jota could come out and score 15 points this week and we'll all be dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
And Salah can come out and score 5 and, gets an assist to Jota.
Yeah.
Anything's possible with this Liverpool front 3. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like they just look dangerous, but they look
solid.
They look patient.
Yeah, solid.
Like they don't have an issue with just getting there and be like, all right, cool, let's knock it around a little bit. Don't play it as back as often as they did with Jurgen Klopp, right? Because Jurgen Klopp sometimes he was guilty of going too far back, and even rather than attacking that space and attacking the holes, they just put a foot on it, turn around, go back. This one, you go back once, but then you have to go forward next.
Yeah, you got to go forward. Like they'll always keep moving forward and putting the pressure on. Okay, next game we've got. Your next game we got Manchester City versus Brentford. Captain Haaland this week. I'm not going to make that mistake from last week of not captaining him against West Ham's hat trick again. I'm going to captain him purely because they're at the Etihad, and we know what he can do at the Etihad. He loves playing there, and Brentford have been leaking goals and goals and goals.
Yeah,
so
they have.
I think City are going to, control this and do really well, and that Haaland is the only striker up top. So we could start to see Foden play some minutes now for City, KDB, all these kind of guys, Gundogan playing. So we could start to see a bit of a rotation.
Yeah, I guess if they were going to rest, I guess, Haaland. Who would you have?
You'd play Gundogan or Foden up as a false 9.
You reckon?
Probably.
Because
that would probably be where they would go. I think they wouldn't have much other options apart from that.
Could even play Savinho, really.
You could if you wanted.
I'm fairly certain Savinho's played, when he was at Atleti, played 9 for a bit.
Pep would have a plan.
Or
Pep would have someone.
Why wouldn't you have Doku?
Yeah, you could do
Doku's
anything.
Rapid, man.
Yeah.
Just without the height of Haaland. You just play him in behind the line of Brentford and he'd just burn.
Yeah, I just fear for the Brentford defence.
Yeah, poor
at the Etihad, I think he's just going to score again. He's been just on fire. So ride the wave. With Brentford, I wouldn't touch any of their players this week. I know Mbeumo scored really well last game, but I just can't see them getting any possession of this ball.
Yeah, look, I've got Flecken in my squad, but he's going to be going out and Henderson's going to be jumping on.
Yeah, today.
Because they've got Leicester. So.
Definitely. Okay, Aston Villa versus Everton. I think Villa win this game. Everton is still the basket case. They're the Banter FC at the moment.
So bad.
And Watkins has to deliver for me at some stage this week or next week. Did bring him in. He somehow managed to capture a unicorn assist last game week. But I just think he's still got goals in him. And I just got to be patient because I've already sold Isak for him. And I think this is the game week to do really well. But apart from that, Onana, killing it.
Onana's just on fire,
He's
isn't
found
he?
a new level at 5 mil.
But whether or not he'll be able to sort of carry that into his old club of Everton,
He'll be up
whether
for
he'll
it.
find the occasion too much.
He'll be up for it.
You never know.
You never know. But yeah, in terms of other assets, I guess, who else they got? Duran, he's been doing really well.
Yeah, Leon Bailey.
Leon Bailey will come good.
We love him. But again, like he's got a hamstring injury.
Yep.
So he's 50% chance of playing. You'd probably look at, probably Duran, Ramsey.
You got Ramsey as well. You got a couple options.
Even Buendia. Like Buendia can come up with a goal every now and then.
This could be good for Watkins. He needs a bit of a goal. He needs a goal to get himself off the mark. So I'm hoping, whereas Everton, I'm not even... Like Calvert-Lewin, people are sometimes going near him, but I just don't feel like touching any Everton asset at the moment.
No.
Like McNeil I thought about McNeil or Calvert-Lewin, but I don't believe it. Those price points are the best options.
I mean, like you could find Broha. You reckon Broha will start?
Oh, they've got to change something up, so we'll wait until after this game week.
Let's have a look. Hang on.
Yeah, Broha will be at 6 mil or 5.5 mil.
Yeah.
But
he's also got a 25% chance of playing.
Yeah, so
and he's got a foot injury. So
we will see.
All these injuries, man. That was like my one worry with this.
Wild card early.
No, just with the international break. All right, the international break. While obviously you got to get your World Cup qualifications in. It's just a scary time for clubs, like
insane.
You let someone go like, all right, what injury are they going to come back with? What niggle are they going to come back with?
KDB said he's quit against. Yeah. He said he quit this Belgium squad basically based on the tactics. I saw a thing this morning. Okay, Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Look, Chelsea again should have beat Palace from what I've seen, but I think this game week, I think there are some goals. Chelsea have won their last 3 or 4 clashes against Bournemouth, so I'm hoping that Palmer will deliver this week against them.
Yeah, look, Palmer's definitely a good shout for definitely getting a couple of goals.
Jackson,
but I mean, Bournemouth obviously they'll have Kepa.
Bournemouth have got Kepa, yeah, they'll play him.
Whether or not it's in the contract whether he can play or not, because sometimes clubs like this add in a contract where you can't
play against each other.
Play against your loanee.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. Even if he does play, I think the guys will know him pretty well. Like I think Bournemouth have played pretty well. They came back against Everton, and they got the win. It'll be a good clash away from home for Chelsea, but I think I'm hoping that Palmer can deliver something good for us. That's absolutely. At 5 a.m. our time.
And so look, I mean, like Semenyo has been drafted in by 25,000 people.
He's doing really well. Three game weeks in a row.
Yeah, potentially could get some decent
5.5 mil.
Points. Yeah. So
another option, better option.
Even if it's just like 6 or 7 points, 6 or 7 points better than what you might actually get with someone else.
For sure. And then you've got Pedro Neto looked on fire against for Portugal the other day. He was cooking. He was going fast.
Wasn't he?
Okay, yeah, not too much. I don't think there'll be a clean sheet though. I think the Bournemouth might get a goal. I've got Sanchez, but who knows, man? Probably a rookie choice there. Yeah. Tottenham versus Arsenal, probably game week match of the round. This is the North London derby. Big Ange up against Mikel Arteta. So, in terms of picks, it's hard to say. I think Arsenal have had a few injuries with Odegaard with the ankle, which would have been yesterday or this morning.
Cal Marino's got his foot fracture.
Got Jesus. Not sure if he's coming back.
Jesus potentially might jump in, which means Havertz could then go back as a 10.
As a 10 or an 8.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
Unknown, but all we know is Saka will play.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Yep.
Saka's playing, so I've got him on my side, and I'm hoping that he
delivers.
Gets at least 10 points.
Aren't we all?
We'll see.
And then Tottenham, Solanke should be back for this game, so it should be a good clash. I think with Spurs, their high line defence might get a bit exposed this week against Arsenal, because Arsenal are just all out attack sometimes when they're going forward. So with Spurs, they're a chance of getting a goal. I think they're always a chance of getting a goal, whether it's with Kulusevski or Brennan Johnson or even Son.
Yeah.
Potentially even with Solanke. Who knows? Offset pieces. we just never know. But when you got Gabriel and Saliba up there and Raya, I think they've got a pretty rock solid defense.
Yeah.
Calafori got injured, but I don't think that affects too much because they've got Timber and Zinchenko.
Yep.
They've got options, and then at right back they've still got Ben White. So everything else, not much to report on. It'll just be interesting to see how they line up Arsenal without Odegaard.
Yeah.
And what they do, but they would have a plan for this.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. Ben White has completely ruled himself out of any further international matches.
Yeah, he's probably just doesn't like Lee Carsley.
Probably. There's probably quite a few people. And then, look, that's the thing that you'll encounter. You'll encounter managers throughout your whole entire career where maybe you'll get along with them, maybe you won't. But, I mean, it's completely down to the individual, I guess, isn't it?
Definitely. So, Arsenal playing away from home, I think this will be a maybe potentially draw, or it might be a couple goals in it.
Yeah. I just can't see
Arsenal losing.
Yeah,
not at the moment.
Even with Odegaard out, man. I mean, like, they're just too good. And I think Ange, while he's got a good side, they're just not. It's just something that's not there. There's something really not there for Ange, and it could be his downfall. Like I said at the start of the, I think the very first podcast, will this be Ange's year where they actually give him the boot?
Maybe.
Hopefully not.
I think they just don't have enough game winners. As in big moment game winners.
Yeah.
And they can beat all the other teams. They just can't. I think with the top teams, they've got a good record against City, and I think they've got a good record against Arsenal, like decent-ish, in terms of staying in it. But I think this will be a true telling story this weekend. And then the last game we got is Wolves versus Newcastle. I think Wolves have started to hit a little bit of momentum, but they're still conceding goals. And Newcastle, they beat Tottenham in terms of that, but they didn't look 100%.
No.
So I think at the moment they're struggling with the old Newcastle of last year being really just fiery.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, they're
still got results.
Fifth, like they're getting results. They're scraping by essentially, but at the same time, like they never look really convincing.
No.
But Tonali's back.
Tonali's back.
Tonali has come back, so that might actually concrete that midfield a little bit, right? Yes, he may be fit, but is he game fit?
Who knows?
That's the other one.
Who knows? But it's going to be an interesting one there. I think with these ones, there's not too much to pick. Isak could be a good pick this week. Gordon, because they are conceding goals, obviously, as well. Nick Pope could be a good pick as well as a goalkeeper.
Could get a clean sheet, especially against Wolves. I mean,
definitely. But Wolves have been scoring. They've been scoring some goals. So we'll see. But I think there's not too much else to report on with these games. If we go into our, I guess, baller of the week, who have you got, Russ?
Look, I think for me, it's one of the two. It's Haaland or Salah. Like, I think those two are just going to light up this week.
Definitely.
I can't really see anyone else being a standout for the week.
Definitely.
So,
I think keep it simple this week.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. But I guess you're pretty much the same for your baller.
I'm going probably Haaland this week again. I think it's very just between Haaland and Salah. Yeah. It's Haaland for me. I think the only other game you would look at is the Liverpool one, where potentially you might look at like a Jota or even Diaz or a Trent, any of those options. But I'm happy to go with Haaland and maybe even a Doku against Brentford.
Yeah, I mean even Cole Palmer potentially.
Cole Palmer, yeah. So I'm going Haaland as well.
Yeah. So
bust of the week.
Look, my bust of the week. It's a little bit of a controversial one, but I'm going to go Pedro Porro.
Porro?
I can, something about this feeling in my gut where it's Tottenham versus Arsenal. I feel like Tottenham are actually going to get quite embarrassed, potentially. So,
potentially they will, and I think this would be a telling moment, as we spoke about before.
Yeah. So I'm going to put my bust as Pedro Porro. We'll find out, obviously, if that's true or not. I could come in and all of a sudden I'm going to be like, Pedro Porro just went and got a hat-trick of assists. Oh, good.
My bust of the week, I'm going with the Manchester United goalkeeper, Onana.
Oh, you know what? That's not a bad shout.
I thought, well, you know what? If this Southampton prediction is true this week and they do get their first win, it's going to come from an Onana blunder.
Yeah.
Or something, he'll just have his name.
Well, if you can call this, then you can definitely pick a fantasy side.
I know. Well, you think I would
potentially get out of
eighth position in our league. So whereas Russ up top, so I'm going Onana to bust for the week and Southampton to win.
Yeah. Can I put myself as a bust of the week with my side? Do you reckon this week's going to be the week that I just drop?
No, I don't know. You've still got Salah and Haaland, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all of our baller and bust of the week. I think as we look further on in the season, we'll just touch a bit more on now, just I guess over the next 3 or 4 game weeks, what we believe will be the trend, like bit of a prediction on what we think some teams that are going to start to emerge.
Yeah,
just a quick
sure.
fire. Over the next, so how many games do you reckon these teams will win over the next 4 games, Russ? So Southampton, next 4 games, how many prediction? Quick fire.
0.
0, okay. Manchester United.
2.
Okay, over the next 4. Brighton.
1.
1 over the next 4.
Oh, wait. 3.
3.
3.
Ipswich.
1.
Okay. Crystal Palace.
2. I don't know who they're versus.
That's okay. Just predict.
Spitting numbers.
Leicester.
1.
1 over the next 4. Fulham.
2.
2. West Ham.
1.
Liverpool. Next 4 games.
4.
4. Okay. Nottingham Forest. Next
2.
4. 2. Manchester City.
4.
Brentford.
3.
You reckon they'll win 3 the next 4?
Potentially.
Aston Villa.
2.
2. Everton.
0.
Bournemouth.
2.
Chelsea.
3.
Okay. Tottenham.
2.
2. Arsenal.
3.
3. Wolves.
0.
And Newcastle.
2.
I'm going to go Southampton to win 1 out of the next 4.
Yep.
United to win 2 out of the next 4. Brighton to win 3 out of the next 4. Ipswich to win 2 out of the next 4. Yep. Crystal Palace to win 2. Leicester to win 1. Fulham to win 1. West Ham to win 2. Liverpool to win 3 out of the next 4. Nottingham Forest to win 2 out of the next 4. I'm going to go City to win 4 out of the next 4. And Brentford to win 0 out of the next 4.
Yep.
Villa to win 3 out of the next 4. Everton to win 1 out of the next 4.
You reckon Everton's going to get a win?
Bournemouth,
potentially.
Bournemouth to win 1 out of the next 4. Chelsea to win 3. Tottenham to win 2. And then Arsenal to win 3 out of the next 4. And then obviously Wolves, I think they'll win 1. And then Newcastle will win 2.
Okay. So let's go with the big 6.
Big 6.
All right.
Yep.
We'll have a look at those the next 4 fixtures.
Okay.
Okay. So starting with Arsenal.
Yep.
Arsenal have Tottenham,
Yep.
Man City, Leicester, and Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea have Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, and Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool have Forest, Bournemouth, Wolves, and Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Man City have Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle, and Fulham.
So they could win all 4.
I reckon there's a draw there somewhere, to be honest.
Maybe.
But, I mean, I said all 4. So
They win the
well,
Premier
I didn't know
League.
who they were versus, so. Man U, they've got Southampton, Palace, Tottenham, Villa.
Ooh.
So potential.
Could be 1 out of 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Who knows? If they lose this week, it's over.
Spurs have Arsenal, Brentford, United, and then Brighton. And look, just for
that's
fun,
tough.
Newcastle have Wolves, Fulham, City, Everton.
Yeah. Could be a struggle for Spurs.
Yep.
Could be a struggle for maybe potentially Newcastle. I think, obviously Liverpool, City, and I think Chelsea not have bad fixtures.
Yep.
Overall, so we can see a change. But as I said, if Southampton win this week, it's all over for United.
Yeah.
All over.
Yeah. There will be no way that United.
Voldemort will be sacked.
100%. If United lose, I reckon even if they draw, then Ten Hag is going to be balancing on very, very thin ice.
He'll be on thin ice. They need to perform, and they just struggle to perform. But he came out before the start of the season and said they weren't fit. They weren't ready to go.
Yeah.
As a team, he was honest. But
yeah,
we shall see. Well, that's our 5th episode of our Down Under FPL podcast that previews this week's game weeks. As we said, we're going to say go Southampton, and we will see you next week with the review of whether we're wearing Southampton shirts or not.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. As always, make sure you check our TikToks, check our Instagram, check our YouTube page for the full video. And thank you very much to all our listeners. A big shout out to my mate Paul, who is a constant listener.
Good. Thanks, Paul.
And, mate, for anyone else who's out there consistently listening to us, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And share with all your friends. Thanks,
awesome, guys. Thanks, guys.